and welcome to our next lesson, looking at the creation story, the very first story in the Bible. Let's start with a quiz, again, to see how much you can remember about the story. This is a true or false quiz, so you have to decide if what I say is true or false. And I want you to make the shape of the letters. So T for true and F for false. So you could do true, you could do, let me see if I get it the right way around, false, or you could use your whole arms, true or false. Okay, so here is question 1. The Bible says that in the beginning there was nothing. There was no plants, no animals, no flowers, except the earth itself. True or false? I'll say it again. In the Bible, it says that in the beginning there was nothing. No plants, no animals, no trees, except the earth itself. True or false? What did you go for? It is false. The Bible says in the beginning there was nothing except God. Even the earth itself didn't exist. And there was only God. So that one was false. Good job if you got that right. Next question. The Bible says that God made the world in 6 days. True or false? The Bible says that God made the world in 6 days. What do you think? It's a bit of a tricky one, actually, maybe a trick question, because I think it's true, because the Bible says he made the world in 6 days, but it talks about day 7 because that's the day he rested. So if you said false because you were thinking it was 7, I kind of get that too. Okay, next question. In the Bible, it says the first thing God made was water. True or false? In the Bible, it says the first thing God made was water. It is false. The Bible says the first thing God did was make light. He made light out of the darkness. Next question. In the Bible, it says that God made everything just by speaking. True or false? In the Bible, it says that God made everything just by speaking. It's true. Yeah, absolutely. The Bible says that God just spoke and things came into being. Next question. Well done if you're getting these right so far. Next question. The Bible says that God made animals before birds. God made animals before birds. That's false. In the Bible it says birds before animals. Next one. In the Bible it says that the last thing God made was people. The last thing God made was people. True or false? It's true. Well done. I guess most of you maybe got that one yet. The last thing he made was people. He made them on the 6th day after he made the animals. Next question. God looked at everything he had made and was pleased with it. He said, that's good. True or false? The Bible says that God looked at everything he had made and he was pleased with it. He said, that's good. Yep, that's true. You remembered that well. God was pleased with everything he had made, including people, including you and me. And the last question, the Bible says that God made everything out of nothing. God made everything out of nothing. True or false? It's true. And that's one of the things that amazes me the most, that God spoke and there was nothing and then something came. I think that is astounding. Well, if you keep reading the Bible, after that bit of the story, after day 7 where God's rested, you will discover that God gives people a job. God asks people, well, tells them really, to look after the world. He puts them in charge of the world and tells them to look after it. And that's what we want to think a little bit about today. So I'm going to set you some tasks and then get you to pause the video so you can do the task and chat about it with each other and see what you all thought, and then come back together and press play on the video again and get the next task. So, are you ready? The first task is that I have chosen 5 parts of creation. I'll put them on the screen in a minute. 5 parts of creation. And I want you to think, which is the most important part of creation, the most important part of our world to look after? And you can order them. So 5 parts of creation. What's the most important part to look after? Order them from most important to least important. And then chat about, why did you choose that? Why do you think that? Okay? So here are the 5 parts coming on screen. Seas, plants and trees, people, animals and skies. Which are the most important to look after and why? Okay, next task. I am going to give you 5 groups of people, types of people who look after the world, and I want you to order them from a Who do you think does a good job and who do you think doesn't do such a good job? Who do you think does the best job at looking after creation? And you can chat about why you chose that. You can chat about what these groups of people do well. And you could, it's got windy. You can chat about what they could do better, you think, okay? So here they come. So the 5 groups of people are the government, your school, you and your family, campaign groups like Friends of the Earth, who try and bring attention to issues that are affecting our world and get people to change what they do and to take action to look after our world. And then the last one is charities, and I've written down the name of a charity called Compassion. It's a charity that you can give money to, and they use it to support children who live in poverty-stricken countries, to support them to have an education, to have healthcare, and to be looked after. So, who does the best job at looking after the world? What order would you put them in? What do they do well? What do they not do so well? What could they do better? Have a chat together. Okay, next task. I am going to put 5 ways of looking after the world on the screen, and I want you to order them again, but from easy to hard. Which ways of looking after the world are easy to do, which ways are hard? And that'll change for each of you maybe, depending what you find easy and you find hard. And then chat together about why you chose that order. So we have 5 ways of looking after the world now. The first one is to walk or cycle and not drive anywhere. The next one is to join a campaign against child slavery. The third one, recycle household items. The fourth one, use less plastic, so maybe no cling film on your sandwiches, no shampoo or shower gel bottles. And the last one, create a bee-friendly garden. So order them, easy to hard. What's the easiest to do, what's the hardest to do, and chat together about why you think that. Well, there are lots of ways to look after our world, aren't there? And some are easier to do than others. And there are lots of good reasons why it's important we do these things and we look after our world. We know that the world needs to be in good shape if we are to survive as humans. And for Christians, it's more than that. As Christians, we believe that God has made the world for us to enjoy. And if we spoil it, we won't be able to enjoy it as much. And we don't want to spoil it for others. We want them to be able to enjoy the world, even people who will live after us. We want the world to keep going. And we know we need to look after it for that to happen. But also, remember, Christians believe that God says, look after the world. He gives them a responsibility to do it. So if we didn't do it, then that would be disobeying God. And Christians live their lives doing their best to live God's way, to live how He asks them to live, to obey Him and do what He asks them to do. So not looking after the world would be disobeying God. So I hope that helps you understand a little bit more about what Christians believe, why looking after the world is important to them, and got you thinking about how you can look after the world as well. I'm going to leave you with a challenge. Again, I would like to challenge you to choose one aspect of the world, one aspect of creation. So you might choose the sky, you might choose insects, you might choose people, and come up with 5 ways you can look after that part of the world. Think about how you can look after it close to you, but also look after that part of the world if it's right on the other side of the world. How could you look after people on the other side of the world, or insects on the other side of the world? And think about if the ideas you've chosen are easy or hard. And as you think about all this, just remember that Christians believe God made the world, He wants them to enjoy it, but He's also given that responsibility to look after it. And sometimes that's going to mean making hard choices and changing the way we live.